yourself. So just state your full name, your age, and something that you're excited about today.
I'm Srinjoy Ghose. I'm 16 years old, and tonight I'm gonna go eat at a Korean spot for dinner with a bunch of my friends.
Nice. So you don't live in San Diego, right?
I'm in Texas.
Oh my gosh, how was that?
The weather's really bipolar. I would assume it's hot, but like recently it's been getting cold and then hot all of a sudden. It's like
Yeah.
horrible,
Are
but
you
I like it. Yeah,
originally from Texas?
yeah. My family's from India, but I've been brought and raised up in Texas. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's nice. So you are a high school student, right?
Yes. So actually, um, I transferred. I'm in a like early college program. So I'm with UNT, so it's University of North Texas, and I basically live here on the dorms and take classes here as well.
Oh, that's so cool. Do you have like how do I is it more like you have like a major that you are working on, or is it like you just take kind of high school level classes but it's in a different setting?
You kind of get like a concentration. So I want to go to medicine. So a lot of my classes are like I take my intro biology, chemistry, like physics, organic chemistry classes, and then like ideally we come here after sophomore year for our junior and senior year, and after these 2 years, ideally we'll have 2 years of college credits, so that when we go to like our next institution, it'll transfer over.
Okay, and then what's the hope for the next college?
I just finished my application for University of Pennsylvania.
Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. Is that like the dream college?
Yeah, for me
Okay,
it is,
let's
yeah.
hope for the best. I
Thank
have
you.
you seem like a smart kid, I have no doubt.
Thank you so much.
Okay. These are more like softball questions to kind of get you a little bit more comfortable, but I already feel like you're super comfortable. So these are just fun questions.
Mhm.
Um, what is currently your favorite activity to do outside of school?
So recently, this place where I'm at, we live in a residential like dorm, right? So all of the we're called TAM students, and all of us TAM students live at the same dorm, like guys and girls, and it's been like an institution for like 20 or 30 years now, and this whole time there's like dance teams, right? So the dance teams actually like they pick new captains each year, but the dance teams like traditionally have been like your hip hop style and then your more like slow romantic type dancing.
Mhm.
So actually 2 years ago, there's a South Indian type of dance called like kuttu. So there's a group of students that decided to like create a group for kuttu, and then they got a lot of backlash for it. So they did it and they performed at these events. So we have like a bunch of fundraiser events. Last week we had one called ATC where we raised like money for one of the workers at the actual like one of the staff at the residential hall. Her daughter was trying to go to college, so we raised money for her college funds. So in that process, like we'll prepare like a dance performance, a routine, and then like go on stage. Hopefully, like sponsors will see us and then like give money and stuff. So actually, all of last week, since we have like a bunch of exams and stuff, like I was cramming a bunch of dances, and then we actually reinstated the group. So me and like four other of us, we like became the captains and we took the junior class. I'm a senior right now, so we took the junior class and then we basically taught them these like dances. And it wasn't just Indian people. Like we had like a ton of people, like 20 or 30 people learn these like South Indian dances, and we raised like $700 for like the cause that day. So the whole week it was just dancing like in and out. We would be in like one of the empty classrooms in the environmental science building, and then we'd like move all the chairs to the side and then put it on the projector, and then we just stay there, leave for food, come back, keep practicing, keep repping it out. So I think it's dance, yeah. I'm not a great dancer, but I realized like when we were looking through all the like the archives of like the stuff that TAM students have done, we realized why did they stop the group? Like, come on, we can try something new. So we decided to do it for ATC this year.
Oh, that's so cool. That's do you besides like the traditional like South Indian dancing, do you participate in the other ones too? Like hip
Mhm. Yeah, I
hop?
do hip hop dance. Yeah,
Yeah, that's so cool. So I guess
I'm wearing the shirt right now. We
oh, is
call it
that
the pokeries.
oh, that's so nice. That's a really fun like how do I describe this? Like doing college apps, like that's a
Mhm.
unique one.
Yeah, wait, it's
Yeah.
really nice to because last week we had like a November 15th deadline, so all of us were like stressing out about that. But as soon as it was over, we were just like back at it practicing. Like it was fun. It was great.
That's so fun. Do you feel like you made like majority of your friends in that organization?
I would say for junior friends for sure, because
Okay.
like I don't really know a lot of the juniors, but when they were like showing interest, so we got to like meet them and then practice with them, and it was a great way to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. Um, okay. I feel like that was a really good like segue into to moving on to this next one.
Yeah.
Um, okay. What is an accomplishment, personal project, or extracurricular activity that you're proud of working on?
Okay. So, oh wait, was I too long with that response? I don't want to like
Oh my
keep
God, no,
yapping.
there is no lengths. There's no nothing.
Okay.
Like, don't worry about
Okay, I'll
that.
give you the whole rundown
No, no, no.
then. So, the start of my junior year, since we're on a university campus, it's pretty easy for us to get involved with research. So, I really like math, and I was like, I want to do engineering research, but I'm also a pre-med student, so I was wondering like, can I find a research that combines it? So I looked into biomedical engineering. So, I joined a professor's lab. His name is Dr. Yang, and he does research in organ chip systems. So, what organ chip systems are like at least the project I was working on was we took the optic nerve head region of the eye, so like the back region, and it's covered in like neurons, and that's like the part that affects our vision. So essentially, like when you have drugs, we would test drugs on like rats' eyes before like human eyes because we like it's kind of dangerous to test on like clinical trials like early on. So, but the problem is rats' eyes aren't fully like anatomically the same as human eyes. They lack a lot of the same features. So like we tested drug on the rat's eyes, and then it would turn out that when we tested it on humans, it would be really dangerous, and we just couldn't know. So what our research was trying to do is essentially take like the essentially take the main functions of a human eye and then put it onto this like artificially made silicon chip. And on the chip, like we have the same cells cultured. So the same like they're called retinal ganglion cells. So we have the same RGC cells like cultured on the plate, and then we'd like basically test for different like eye conditions. So the one that we were testing for is glaucoma, and glaucoma particularly is high pressure in the eye. So like when we would essentially pump like culture media, so like the food for the cells into the like system, and then test it over like different intervals of like pressure. And over time, we'd see how much the pressure affects the cells, and we integrate the same parts of the human eye. So it was essentially like a one-on-one replica, like mimicking the human eye's conditions. So all of junior year, that's what I worked on, and it was great because like that was my first time getting into research, and I love working on a project that could impact people. But I'll tell you this, I would say like I was very new to like working. Sorry, I'm in like a classroom right now, so I'm just wondering if people are coming in. So I was very new to like academic research, so I didn't know how like the grad student, PhD student kind of like system worked, and it's very hierarchical, and that's understandable considering they have more experience. But at least for my thing on research, I really loved like hands-on like work, and I didn't. A lot of my work was like quote unquote brainless. I would just kind of listen to the work, and listen to the jobs that like my grad student would tell me to do and do it, and I loved it, right? Like it was a great experience, and I learned a lot of techniques in the process. But by the time I got to summer, I was working part-time, so it was around like 10 to 15 hours a week, junior year. But I got to summer, and then I got a scholarship to work in the summer for research, like full time. So I was like expected to work like 50 hours a week. So at that time, I'm like, okay, wait, I have so much time now. Do I really want to be doing work that's like so arduous, so like time consuming? And yes, it's for a great cause, but like there's other students who are less experienced that can do like this work. I want to like get my hands on something. I want to get my hands messy, right? So I spent a couple of hours and I was reading through my professor's like old manuscripts and seeing like what he's done in the past, all the projects he's worked on. And I stumbled across like the senior design project that he had like 2 years ago. It's called the stem cell bioreactor niche. So weird name, but essentially what it was they this like senior design group, they were making stem cells. So stem cells are like cells that can turn into different types of cells. So like you can have a stem cell turn into an eye cell or a heart cell or a bone cell. And that's really great because like say you like lose a piece of your bone, you can the stem cells which are already native to your body can like come and replace it. So the problem was your body can't produce that many stem cells. There's a very limited amount. So but cells usually can regenerate, like they go through mitosis and they'll like expand a lot, right? So what we wanted to do was like use the same like fundamental theories of like mitosis onto stem cells so that we can mass manufacture them. So like business side, like the end goal of the product would be having like this manufacturing chamber that basically had the mechanical and chemical stimulus to turn those stem cells into the type of cells we wanted. So I was testing for cardiomyocytes, which is a type of cell in like the aorta, which like helps like contract with the heart's beat. So to like get that, we would have to we'd have to pull the stem cells in a certain way, like with a certain pulsation to essentially replicate like the heart's like movements. And when we did that, essentially we would like send that box to like a patient in a hospital and it would sit by the patient and then that patient would like transfer some of the cells there and it would literally grow for like a week. And then by the time like it ends, they have enough like heart cells to like go in and then replace like parts of their heart. So like I was like, holy crap, this is so cool. Like, why is no one in the lab doing it, right? Because the seniors like graduated, right? It was their design project. So I went to Dr. Yang and I asked him like, hey, let me do this. Like, I have the whole summer, let me work on something. So that's what I did the whole summer. I brought that like project back to life, I'd say. And then I had a junior join the lab as well, so I worked like directly with the junior, and it would just be us on the project. And like for the first time in research, I felt like wow, like I'm putting a lot of effort into like this cause like care for it. I'm seeing the device like actually go through all the stages of R&D, like seeing like the testing and I'm writing like my abstract and all this stuff right now. So I'd say yeah, I'm still working on it right now, and hopefully like I can get some good progress in before I graduate, and then maybe like someone else can take over like the charge of the project. But that's what I'm most proud of for sure.
That's really amazing. So you're currently writing the paper for it. Is that's what I'm hearing?
Yeah, so I'm writing. It's not gonna get published like right
Oh,
now, but
okay.
we're writing like a we're writing the like manuscript so that like the new people that come like know exactly what we did. The senior design project did that too, but obviously like we took it like to we like advanced the project, so we want to like update it and make a new document for it.
That's
It's pretty
really
far from publication, I'll say that.
That's okay. That's amazing. To be completely honest with you, like you're 16, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like that's already a significant feat in of itself. So be proud of yourself and Pen would be happy. You would be so blessed to have you. So hoping for that. Hoping for that. Okay. So to me, I like we all have different definitions of this, but what does education mean to you personally?
So, I believe in a liberal education, a very holistic one. I guess like I really like math and science, but after I came to TAMS especially, I realized like the importance of like liberal education. Actually, I want to major in public health now. So, and that's because like at least in my time here, I worked a lot with like advocacy work and like making sure people's voices are heard. And I do that a lot in research as well. So, like, I mean, we would, all right, I don't want to talk about that. I'll just talk about education. So, at least for me, I think it's really important to have a lot of literary like knowledge and a lot of understanding of what's going on in like society because that's what makes you a like good citizen. Yes, you can be like a good math student, but it's not really that beneficial to be a good like student in STEM if you don't know how to apply that STEM into like the real world, and you don't know that without a liberal education. So at least for me, like even with my major, what I want to go into, it's gonna be trying to understand like society as a whole and then understanding how can you improve society with like your skills and your interests. So for me, like I'll answer your question in full now. Like what does education mean to me? It means understanding your strengths and then having an institution that can support your strengths, but also know how to apply those strengths into the real world, right? Be that like portal. Because for sure, like I don't disagree that you can learn everything from college like yourself, but when you go to university or you go to like high school, you're not just going there for like a hardcore like learning STEM. You're going there for the community and also the classes that help you like put those like concepts into the real world, show you how you can impact society. So that's what I think education is, yeah.
That's perfect. Okay, this is. I feel like you'll have fun with this question. What is a topic or subject that you that isn't taught in schools that you feel should be?
Right. I think it is taught in some schools, but at least where I'm at and like my old high school, it wasn't taught. Like I would say a public speaking or seminar type class. So at least for me, I used to be really shy. Before I came to TAMS, I was like the quietest kid in class. I wouldn't talk to anyone, and I used to be like that introvert, just sitting and like doing my own thing. But at least when I came to TAMS, I was like surrounded with so many people that for me it was, do I either continue being myself or do I make like, a change in my life and like start talking to more people? And um, I feel like there's not a way you can like learn this through a lecture. I know some classes teach on like philosophy or like types of I know there's some classes that teach on like communication and how to like talk to people, but I would say more of a seminar type like exposure class because the best way to like learn how to speak to others is exposure, like putting yourself in those dangerous positions. Something that helped me is I did Toastmasters. So like I'll meet with my like so what that was I'll meet with like a group of people each week. And at first we didn't know anyone, we didn't know each other's names, but we do like these things called table topics where we'd have like a conversation and then have like 1 to 2 minutes to speak on it without like any stutters. So like a conversation could look like a topic could look like, oh, tell me about your favorite coffee, and we have to speak about it for like 2 minutes. So like that kind of thing exposed me to like just practice repetition, like getting out there, like putting my voice out there, and that helped me a lot. And then when I came to TAMS, I realized um I got this through like exposure, but so many people here, especially here where it's like a very STEM like technical academy, are like really smart, but they can't express themselves. And then when they work on projects, they're not able to like advocate for themselves because they just feel overworked. They're like the ones that are doing the grunt work while these people like these business kind of majors are like taking over like their hard work essentially. And I feel like that's not fair, right? You need to be able to train yourself to speak to yourself, speak for yourself. And I guess in class, like they could do this through exposure, just having you come into class every day and just talk to each other, have a very open discussion, and more like a an unstructured, not a lecture type class, but more of like a small, like 10 to 15% seminar class. Actually sat in one like marketing class, like a graduate level marketing class when I talked to a professor. And she did like the same thing. So we literally sit in like a circle, like Socratic seminar style, and then she would like give these case studies, for, like these business case studies, for, like in consulting, and then we like sit in a circle and like devise a solution all together. And like that was great for me because like I got to speak and I didn't really know anything. Like these were all grad students of like business. They were like MBA students. So like anytime I spoke, I knew I was wrong, but at least I knew that like I was getting my voice out there and I could like learn from these people that were experienced. So like I think something like that in school would be like totally great. Like especially in high school and like people are trying to discover what they want to do. I think like surrounding yourself with those kind of like people that are willing to put their voices out there is really important.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think like whatever you've done in your past has really shaped you because I would never have guessed that you were a shy kid before this. Um, Tell me about someone that's left an impact on you and why. You don't have to be super detailed if you don't want to, or like, emotional, whatever. Just answer it as however you feel most comfortable.
Um, so at least for my like junior year, I volunteered at the Denton nursing home, and there used to be this old lady. Her name was Maria. So what we did was there would be a bunch of like homes, and they'd all be separated like physically, right? So what we do is we'd go to the nursing home for like 2 hours each week, and we go to each of these like each of the homes, and then like help the residents like move their things or clean their like kitchen or their bathroom, and then we like have spend extra time talking to them. So this one week we like blazed through all the houses because no one really needed help, and then we like landed at the last house, which is Maria's house. And at this time, like we were scheduled to be there for 2 hours, so the van would come and pick us up after. So we had to stay there for 2 hours. So we go to Maria's house and we're like, okay, we have to be here. And it was raining outside as well, so we all like huddled up inside. There's like five of us, and we would all sit in Maria's house. And then dude, she was amazing. So she had like three cats, and then we all play with their cats, and then she offered us like tea and food, and we'd sit there and talk. Um, Her like oldest son is like in Morocco studying abroad right now, and then her she has a daughter like she has a daughter in college, and she would talk about like her like children's stories, and then as well as like I don't know, it was just really it was we stayed there for 2 hours that day, and then the next week we spent extra time at her place as well. And like soon enough, for I think 2 months, we'd like go every single week and talk to Maria, and then each time she like keep telling like us stories about her life and like what she did when she was our age, like what she was interested in, what we should do, like teach us all these life lessons. So yeah, she was great. I definitely think back to like the times I'm stressful now, like especially during like this college app season. And like, low-key, let me level out and think like big picture wise, like this doesn't mean much in like the whole scheme of things. Like life's gonna move forward. Like yes, I'm gonna face obstacles, but at the end of the day, like we only live once and we gotta like cherish every moment. So she really taught me that, and I'm like really grateful, especially since I'm not like with my parents like now. Like I live away from them. Like so, she was kind of like a foundational stone. Like each week, it would be nice, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, that's super nice. Like having someone that you don't really know, but is still like an elder figure to you. Like, it's very true what they say. Like the older you get, the wiser you get. and like I can like used to intern at a retirement community. Stories that I would hear, like the people that I would meet, they have lived and lost and done so much, and it's I think having something like that, like where you had an experience with Maria, someone that was older, someone that was wiser, it's very beneficial to I'm gonna categorize myself as a youngin as well. It's
Yeah,
very beneficial to the youngins,
for sure.
because it just gives you a different perspective on life because you're living what they already have done, and I think that's beautiful. Um, okay, so is there a cause or social issue that you're passionate about, and why exactly is it important to you?
So I think it's rural healthcare. So I did so the very strong advocacy work I've done is so it's like a youth organization that like me and my friends started here, and we essentially like email like legislation trying to like hopefully get more funding for rural healthcare. I know at least like back in India like there was this one situation like I wasn't really knowledge on like a lot of these like social equity issues. And it was until like I think 2 years ago when I was like in India for the summer, and then we like at least my mom's side of the family is from like the village, so we were at the village at this time, and then I think there's like two doctors at the village, and there's no specialist. So my like grandfather had this neurological condition, but he couldn't get it diagnosed, and it took him like almost like half a year to get it diagnosed, like while he was struggling the whole time. And the only reason was because the doctors there like tried diagnosing him, but like it obviously wasn't correct. And then the specialists like from the city, which was like mind you only an hour or two away, weren't willing to drive all the way down to like my grandfather to diagnose him. And then he didn't have the transfer to go back to the city. So I was like, this is a problem with like like essentially immediate family. I bet it's a problem like everywhere. And I can see there's a problem in America as well. Like I'll come here and then I'll talk to some of my friends who are from like like the rural parts of Texas, right, which are very isolated. And then they'll tell me about like how, at least in like Texas, which is also like a red state, like here there's a lot of like the barriers to get into healthcare, especially in like these smaller towns where doctors aren't as qualified or licensed, and like getting to like a city is also a big issue when you're like living on the like on a ranch, right? Um, it becomes hard to get good access to healthcare. So that's what I care about. I know like my experience there, and especially here in Texas as well. Like even where I am now, I live in Denton, and Denton's more of like I would say a rural area. And here, like I hear stories about like these old people who go unnoticed because they live alone, and then no one is here willing to take care of them. So that's something I care about. I've tried my best, like as a high schooler, to like reach out to communities and stuff. I've gone to last year I went to the Capitol and we went on like this like we went to like try to pitch like an advocacy speech to some of
Oh,
the like officials there. But aside from that, I know when I join university, I'll definitely try to make that like a big goal of mine. That's why also I'm majoring in public health because I like the intersection.
yeah.
So yeah, that's something I care about.
That's great. I really hope that, you can either start a club or like, wherever Pennsylvania is, hopefully it's closer to the capital. um, okay. Let's see. What advice would you give to someone who wants to make a positive impact on their community?
Find the right people. Um, I think I think people are like some of the most important assets you can have, especially when you have an idea. That's also why like business owners like find like co-founders and stuff. So if you have an idea or you want to make a change, try to find someone that's tried that already or succeeded, and then either ask for their advice to see if you can work with them. Um, for me, I like I'll like bring in my experience. When I found like this with my grandfather, I'm like, this is definitely going to be an issue with other people. So I just started reaching out and found out like another friend I had who's she also had another issue with like her family back in Korea. So we talked about it and we're like, you know what, let's do something about it here. And then boom, we both had like this ambition to change, like make a change, and we both wanted to like come together to like we both wanted to come together to like work on this cause, right? And that's what really helped me because it also motivated me to realize like there's a community of people here that'll benefit from my like like my effort to do this, right? And that's like the same for anyone else that wants to do something. There's other people that have either done it already in the past successfully or are trying to do it right now. And surrounding yourself with those people, like you start to realize like you're not alone in this like journey, and like there's people here to support you and there's people here that want you to succeed. So be around that kind of positive reinforcement is great.
Yeah. It's always just the first effort that is the hardest, and then the doors open after that. Okay. What is a challenge that you feel like you've had to really work through, and how do you feel like it shaped you to who you are today?
So coming here was, I actually came here as a freshman. So TAMS is designed as a 2-year program for juniors and seniors. And I'm 16 right now as a senior because I came a year early. So I will say like this is not like the most collaborative or supportive environment. Everyone here is like very ambitious and they want like a lot of great, like a lot of things. And we have clubs here, we have like positions, and we also like aren't the same institution, so we are like essentially competing against each other for like some of the things. So because of that, like the environment here sometimes gets like it gets to you, right? Everyone here, we're like friends, but we're also competing in a competition like against each other, and we're also roommates, and like we're also in the same classes, like working on a group project, and like your social, academic, personal lives all like intermingle. So that's been like a big challenge like for me is trying to like separate that and like also like keep myself like grounded, like trying to realize like I'm here for 2 years, like let me keep my friends like the way that like keep my friends, right? And I know other people have gone in my life and then I've I've also like gotten hurt by them, but like that's something that I think was beneficial for me at least at this point of like my my like my academic like progression. I think like the more you're faced with obstacles, the more you like learn. And then here, at least when you're in a toxic environment, the real world is I'm assuming is as bad. Like I get this work politics or like if you go into research, I bet like there's a lot of drama when it comes to like who's on the paper or whatnot. So I think this is good exposure for me. It's been a challenge, especially coming young, that like I've had to face um like like I am young, so like I do get a lot of like hate for that, but that's okay because I know like like if I'm here like doing something myself, like I'm happy where I am, so I don't want to let other people discourage me. But like having that hate is also a good thing for me because I'm allowed like I'm seeing that this is like the true reality of it in the real world as well. People are gonna be jealous, people are gonna want like things that you want, and they're always gonna be fighting. So um I'm happy to be in like an environment like this because it helps me. And I'm also much more grateful for the people that are actually like true to me. So like my friends that will support me even like through my lows and highs and stuff like that. I don't know if I like just talked a little too much, but that's like something at least this time like I've been a little more introspective on. Like my junior year, I was much more naive, I'd say. Like I came here trying to be friends with everyone. I came here like being like, let me change who I am, right? I was this quiet guy. Like now, like let me like change this type of person I am. Let me like work on my goals. Let me like be a good student. Let me find great friends. Let me do sports. So I did everything, and then soon enough, like when I spread myself too thin, like I feel myself getting like attacked and like essentially like targeted for this kind of thing. So now I stick true to like the things I care about, stick true to the friends I care about, stay away from like the negative words, the negative like all that talk, all the buzz talk. So yeah, that's something I've like gotten to learn these 2 years.
Well, I'm glad that you learned it, but just reassuring you, people that say those things are people that are very, very jealous that you're in that position and they're not. And I'll tell you that in the real world, it only gets worse, but that fact that you are able to handle it now being so young. Also, don't think that you being young is a detriment to anything. In fact, it's a great feat to have accomplished something so young and to be on an amazing route. Going based off of that, what kind of advice would you give someone if you feel like you have more to say?
So I would say don't be afraid to go into the thick of it. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Like for me, I was scared of like failing. I was scared of being made fun of. I was scared of like what people would think of me. And I guess those are valid fears for everyone. But like at least like unintentionally, like I was put through the thick of it. I was made fun of. I went through all this stuff. And now that I'm out of it, I realize like that's what truly shaped me. You don't really realize like who you are until you're at your lowest lows. And then like soon enough you'll come across even lower lows and then you'll discover more about yourself. So don't be like definitely this is a pretty cliche, but don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and then don't be afraid to um like get backlash for it. Don't be like people will always hate. People will always discourage or be jealous of you. But that's like when you're in that low position, that's where your true side like really shows. And I think like I discovered a lot about myself when I was put in those positions. And like definitely like if Thames was like a smooth sailing road, I'll be a completely different person. It's the ups and downs really that have shaped me the most.
Well, Srinjoy, you've done amazing. I've loved speaking to you. I hope you've had a great time in this little journey. Do you have anything else that you want to share or any, last words?
Um, Thank you for coming out here to interview me. I know it was like a struggle with the audio and also the email. Um, the last word, if like someone else is watching this video, I'm not sure, but if someone is, then please like believe in yourself. Um, there's gonna be people that hate on you all the time, but when you power through and you succeed, they're gonna be the ones that are looking at you from the sidelines. You're gonna be the one that's all happy that you actually made that effort in the first place. So yeah.
Hey YouTube! If you enjoyed this person's story, don't forget to subscribe below to hear more from our inspiring youth. If you want to apply for our Storyteller Scholarship or get more involved in our organization, click the link below to apply. Thanks for watching!